Colt McCoy gets his first win as starting quarterback since 2011 when he was with the Cleveland Browns. Tony Romo injured, as mentioned by one Jerry Jones there, in the overtime loss after 1 of 5 sacks on the night. Romo couldn't respond to the Redskins' blitz. Neither could the offense find their rhythm. Des Bryant only had 3 touches for 30 yards. DeMarco Murray had his 5th fumble on the season, more than one Jay Cutler, who is very fumble prone. We welcome in our analysts. Jeff Saturday. I can't make any jokes. Thank you for joining us.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
So you watched this game last night. Cowboys riding high. Did you pick them to win before the game?
I did pick them to win.
Okay, so after the game, do you believe they were exposed?
No, I don't think they were exposed. They didn't play a very good football game, but they were not exposed. I think as you look at this football team, they got away from their identity. You know, what should we do? We should run DeMarco Murray more than 20 times. We don't do that. We need to understand when our players, when it's time to make plays, we got to depend on Des Bryant. You can't have the ball hit you in the hands in the end zone, not make the catch. They just weren't sharp. They weren't on top of it. Then you look at pass protection. You know, everybody wants to blame the offensive line. That wasn't the offensive line. The very first third down of the game, you had Romo checked, and he was trying to get his protection picked up to Merriweather on the side. Offensive line didn't do what they should have done. That's a sack on the offensive line. The rest of it, it was Murray. He's got to get rid of the ball. There are different plays you have to make as a quarterback when you have an all-out blitz that you know you're outmanned. You have to either make sure the interior guy is picked up and leave the outside guy, but you can't leave the interior linebacker running free on Romo. It's not going to work out. So as you look at this game, they ran the ball so effectively. In the first, second down, throw it.
Yeah.
Third down, throw it. Fourth down, I mean, we're giving you every shot to do what you do.
You really do.
And you throw it again. I don't understand. I don't understand.
At least on second down, he threw it to DeMarco.
Yeah,
yeah, exactly. But as you look at it, that's frustrating because you know what you have. You have a very good offensive line who is playing hot. You know how you get with players that they're hot, they start playing well, and you want to ride them? The offensive line is playing good football. Ride them. Understand that's your ticket to keep knocking this division out. And they just played a poor game. They just didn't show up and play the type of game they needed to play.
You want to go? You want me to go? I'll go.
You go ahead.
Okay. The question is exposed. Were they exposed? I actually thought the Cowboy defense played pretty well last night. But my bar is not set very high for them because they were historically bad a year ago. And once again, they managed to hold the Redskins, albeit with Colt McCoy at quarterback, to 17 regulation points. That's pretty good. That'll win you a lot of football games. Where they got exposed was, and this is to your point about Tony Romo, as you call him, the accident waiting to happen, as he has often been. He wasn't the classic accident waiting to happen last night. He didn't throw 4 interceptions. He didn't go completely haywire. But from the start of that football game, I don't know why, he looked lost to me. He looked like he was playing concussed, seriously. Because I couldn't recognize him because he looked like he hadn't played football before. He let them, and Linehan, the play caller, let Hazlitt, the Redskins coordinator, dictate the entire game to him. Because what happened like in the overtime, DeMarco goes 8 yards, and you say, hammer him again. Well, what are they doing? They're trying to outfox Hazlitt's call. So they're thinking, oh, wait a second. This is a classic rundown. Maybe we should throw now because they won't blitz me. Right. They won't blitz me. Maybe I can get rid of the football and we can complete a pass. That's what he said after the game that they were thinking. Well, a lot of times, as you well know, max blitzes work great against the run, too. So you have to make them pay. You have to make them pay with a quick slant to Dez or to anybody, to Witten for that matter. Or you have to screen pass them, or you have to draw them, or you quarterback draw them, or do something that hurts them when everybody's coming, what they call casino blitz that we talked about. Max blitz with several DBs coming off the edges, or linebackers. So you tell me, being a great offensive lineman that you were, How can you not? What would Peyton Manning have done last night to those blitzes? He would have picked them to pieces.
Right.
Am I right?
You're absolutely right. And one thing you're bringing up is a great point. As you're the Dallas Cowboys, your game has changed since last year and the years prior, right? You have this established run game that you know you can do. What are teams going to do to adjust to beat us? We used to beg teams, blitz us. Sure. Bring as many as you want, because we know we'll either block it up, and we'll go through every protection we can. We'll make sure we get blocked up and picked up, and we will hurt you down the field, or we will throw hot to one of our receivers and let him do what he can do, because we know he's man on man, and you got to trust that is the guy. So as the Cowboys, you have them where you want them, but you have to execute when you get them doing what you're asking them to do. You can't, and they did. The Redskins dictated. That was a great word, and I thought the same thing last night. They are trying to match the Redskins instead of dictating what their offense is.
Right. Yeah, and Stephen A., fine, and I'll hand it off to you. Look, you said earlier that, you know, the Cowboys were desperate to send Romo back into the game. The desperate team was the visiting team last night. So the visiting team said, heck with it. We're 2-5. We're going to send the house every time and just dare him to beat. And if he beats us, we lose 41-14. We tried, you know, and that's what happened. They won the game because they put Tony Romo on his heels from the start. And I don't love it. I'll be the first to tell you, I don't love it.
I'm going to ignore you right now because I don't want to talk to
You
you.
don't want to talk to you no more.
I want to talk to you right now. I want to aim my attention towards you. You know, Jeff Saturday, has Peyton Manning ever had a bad game when you were playing for him?
He has. Yeah, he has.
Offensive line ever had a bad game?
Absolutely, yeah.
So these things happen.
I don't know about the offensive line.
So these things happen, right?
They did.
So the fact that these things happen and we're sitting here and we're lamenting the state of affairs with the Dallas Cowboys, can we at least have the decency to put in perspective why that is? Because unlike Peyton Manning, unlike Jeff Saturday, unlike guys like that, see, they haven't accomplished anything yet. We're waiting to see. So it's a very, very big deal. It's not about the kind of mistakes that you made, more so than who's making them, because they haven't proven that this is something that they won't do when it counts. You see where I'm going with this?
No.
The fact that because you're not paying attention, and that's why I don't even want to talk to you right now, because you have no objectivity when it comes to your Cowboys. Here's where I'm coming at with you, Jeff Saturday. Tony Romo can play. He's no scrub. We understand that. What's the knock against him? I never once said he's a scrub. I would never disrespect him like that because I know this man can play.
Right.
What I said was the Dallas Cowboys are an accident waiting to happen. Why do I say that? Because even when you know what they can do and when you see what works for them, somehow, some way, when it counts, they will let you down because they will fall back into old habits. Now, DeMarco Murray comes into last night's game on pace to run 427 times this year. He's averaging over 26 carries a game. We've been hearing the talk over the last couple of weeks how they need to scale that back. DeMarco Murray ran 19 times, 141 yards, 7 yards a carry. Everybody's like, he should have ran more. I'm sorry. Who was their leading receiver? DeMarco Murray had 4 receptions for 80 yards.
That's right.
You understand? So it's not like, and by the way, he was targeted those 4 times. So what I'm saying to you is that...
He wasn't a leading receiver.
He wasn't a leading yards, right? And leading yards.
Okay, all right.
I guess what I'm saying to you is that he had the 4 receptions. He had the 19 carries. He touched the ball about 23 times, okay? Should they have given him the ball more under normal circumstances? Absolutely. But what I'm saying to you is that because DeMarco Murray runs the football effectively, you would think they should have given it to him more, right? Did they? No. This is what they do. Tony Romo, I am not saying that if it's the playoffs, if it's the Super Bowl or whatever, he doesn't come back into that game. But you're 6-1. You're at top the NFC East.
All right.
What's the problem?
Right here, guys. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. Jeff Saturday's going to hang around. We'll finish this Cowboys-Redskins conversation, the impact on RG3. We'll be right back.